Hi, I am going to do a video for Affinity Designer for Windows I'm using the F570, which is not very different from the F170. Only the paper is different. I have a big roll and maybe a couple paper settings. So let's begin. We're going to go to File, New, and I'm going to pick Letter. You can change your size over here. You can make it 12 by 12, whatever you want. DPI is always going to be at 300. Document units in inches. I'm going to pick, you can either pick landscape or whatever you wish. The image placement policy is always prefer embedded. The color format, RGB/8. There's others, you don't need them, stay with this. Color profile, this is the color profile that if you're creating a graphic, if you're designing something, you want to design in this. That's the one everybody uses. Doesn't affect what you print, only what you design. I always use transparent background. You can uncheck this and use white. That's totally up to you. Margins, I have nothing. Bleed, I have nothing. I never change anything. And sorry about that. And I'm going to create. So here's my working space. I'm going to pick a picture. So we're going to go to Place. Sorry about that. Oh, let's get a good one. I don't want to do that. Well, here's a cool one. All right. I'm sure you know how to do this already. You're going to have this arrow. With your left mouse button, you're going to put that down. And I'm going to do this. Actually, I should have it the other way, but I'm not going to print this anyway. All right. Next, we're going to go to Document Setup. And this is where you're going to have your colors, your size, your page preset. In inches, preferred embedded. That's your dimensions. That locks it in place. Always on rescale. Color. Now we're going to do a different profile. We're going to do, here are the two Epson profiles for the 570 and the 170. For the 170, it'll say, I think, SCF 100. This is for the 500. So rigid is for materials like a tumbler, a photo plate, license plate, anything that's solid. The textile is for clothes or a shirt or a pillow or a bib. So I'm going to pick textile. Always keep it at convert. Transparent background. Again, that's up to you if you want it white. I keep everything transparent. Nothing in margins, nothing in bleed, just color. And these are the two, again, the two profiles for the Epson printer. All right, then we hit OK. Then we go to File, and we're going to print it. All right, so now we're going to go to Properties. Let me change the printer. As you see, I have lots of printers. All right, and this is the SC500, which is the 570. You will have, I think, the F100. We're going to go to Properties. And this is the printer properties. So once it gets in there. Okay. Now mine's different because I have a gigantic printer with a roll of paper. So the settings, I'm using 8.5 by 11. If you want to change it and a different size, you can go to user defined. I'm sure you know that. You can hit OK. Change it to that. If you do change it, let's say to custom paper size. So let's say you want to change it to 12 by 12. All right, remember we have it as user defined. It's going to hit OK. They both have to be the same, the settings. User defined here, 12 by 12 here. Of course, I'm using a roll of paper. You're not. Here's where you're just going to have the two media types, and it's going to be either the textile or the rigid. I have to stay with the textile, okay, unless you're printing something else. So that has to match what Affinity has. Now remember, this is the printer preferences, the properties. So I'm going to stick with textile. I'm going to change this back because my setting is letter, so I want to change it back. And here's my letter. Okay. All right, so you see it says letter. It's not custom, it is letter. Everything has to match. All right, so we've got this as textile. Print quality. You're using Affinity. You do not want the printer to manage the color. You're going to put off no color adjustment because you want Affinity to manage your colors because you're using a profile and Affinity uses profiles. I have print preview because I have to see all my mistakes. But when you do print preview, it's never the colors that are going to print out. It's going to look really weird. Next, the quality of your paper. I'm not sure what the F170 has, but I keep it on the highest quality. Never use high speed and finest detail. If you don't have that, if you don't have finest detail, you can just make it high quality. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to keep it maximum, take off high speed, finest detail. Okay, and you guys don't need this. All right, and then I'm going to hit OK. For those who do have the 570, I use the cutter, auto rotate, and I save the roll paper. I don't mess with any of this. We're going to go back into printer settings. You don't do anything with layout, just like this, and that's it. Now we're going to hit OK. Now we've done the printer settings. Okay, document scale, you could have fit to printable, automatic. Layout is letter. Nothing you do here, nothing you do here, nothing you're going to do here. Here's where you're going to do something. Color handling is going to be performed by Affinity, performed by the app. The printer profile, again, are your two paper, the Epson paper profiles. I'm going to use the Epson. You can see how many printers I have. I'm going to use textile. Rigid, again, is for the hard substrates. So I'm going to use it on the t-shirt. Rendering intent. I like to use relative colorimetric because that matches the colors precisely, which means that out of gamut colors are mapped to the same color, resulting in banding. However, it's great for printing shades of the same color, and it's best for digitals. So I use this color. If you want to go with perceptual, that's for the colors that are most perceived by the human eye. So it's not as rich. So I tend to use the relative. You can use perceptual. It's up to you. Play around with it. See if you like it. I never use absolute or saturation. Only perceptual or relative. All right. Now we're done with that. There's nothing you do with print to file. Now you're going to print it. And I'm going to show you. See how colorful this is? When I hit OK, it's going to go to print preview. And you are not going to see those colors at all. It's going to look really strange, but don't worry about it. You won't see the color till you actually press your item. See? Doesn't match. I'm going to print it anyway, just so I can show you how it came out. So we're going to hit print, and then I'm going to press it, and I'll show you a picture of that. And that's telling me my colors and everything, and printing in the background. So that's it for today. Thank you.